Hey, how's it going, everybody? Jake Dijak here, and today I'm excited to talk about my new sample library that just came out today. I created it with a good buddy and fellow composer, sound designer, Grant Borland. You know him from trailers like Rings of Power, Tehran. He just did a trailer for Pearl. So we got together and we decided that we wanted to make a horror sound design pack. We call it horror sound design ingredients. And it's got all the stuff you need to make like a good horror trailer track or underscore. It's got all the necessary like ticks and downers, risers, the creepy drones and the tremolo stuff. It's got a lot of vocal effects like screams and whispery type stuff. It also has a lot of different string effects. So we think it's a great library, and we're excited to bring it to people today. It's available on both mine and Grant's website, and the link will be down below the video. That way you can grab it if you want. But today I'm just going to talk a little bit about a couple of the elements that I created for the library. Primarily in this video, I'm going to talk about risers. So I'm going to go over two of the risers that I created for this library out of raw elements that we recorded. And then you can go on your own and make custom risers out of different stuff from the library. Every sound that I used here is a sound from the library, except for one sound, which is just white noise from a soft synth. And I just use Massive for that, but I'll show you. You could use any kind of soft synth that you can use that you can add noise with. So I'll go ahead and show you that now. So let's go ahead and talk about this first riser. So here, let's take a listen to it first, and this riser is available on the pack. All right, so there's our first riser. All right, so going through this, the way I tend to think about making my risers is I like to choose like a constant sound for the riser, that something that's going to be like the basis for everything, and everything else is going to be built kind of upon that. So for this, what I'm using for that, you can use lots of different things for that, like a long sustained synth, long drone, or a long string sound. This one is a constantly rising violin trem. Grant recorded this one, and so this is kind of the backbone of the riser, if you will. All right. So that's our initial sound. And now we're going to add to this. All right. So the first sound I added was one of our cello trems. This is, it's not quite coming in right at the beginning. It's coming in off from the beginning. And if you notice on my stereo, I'm doing just a volume automation here. You wouldn't normally want to do volume automation on a stereo out on actual music, but for this, since it's just sound design, automating the stereo out just as it's easiest. I could do it on track by track basis, but it's easier just to do it that way. All right, so let's check out this cello trem here that comes in. All right, so that comes in on top of the existing violin trem. All right, moving on. Then I go with I have this sound here. It's another tremolo that we recorded. This one is also a cello. All right, so I'm starting that one from the beginning. And at each one of these, these are all the same audio clip. All right, so I'll show you what I'm doing with these here. If you look at this one here on my, I'm transposing it. If you look on my dashboard here, so this one, you always kind of want to do your all your stuff in the same pitch. You know, you want it all to be starting from the same place. You know, there unless you want to make something like super chaotic that sounds like really out of left field, but you want all your sounds to be conducive. So it's good to start them all on the same pitch. You know, you want your riser to be kind of in a key, you know, at least most of the time. I do personally. So what I'm doing with this is I'm starting it here. Each one of these is raising in pitch as it goes through. So this one here is at just transposed a half step up from that. This one here, another half step. This one here, another half step. So if you listen to these parts combined, and I just did what I call A Bing this track. You're putting you're using two different tracks for this because they're overlapping each other slightly. You don't want to have to crossfade into each one. So you A B it. So this track would be your A track. This track's your B track. And so you're just fading. You know, you're just these are just crossing over each other a little bit. But it'd be a lot more difficult to do that if it was all on the same exact track. So this is how this goes. So it's just raising and pitch the whole way. All right, so we got that thrown in there as well. We also have a ricochet sound that I created. These are all just like chaotic string type noises, you know. That's why I called it the string chaos riser, you know. Makes sense. So a couple other sounds that I added. So let's hear what we got so far. We got all this business here. All right, that's what we got thus far. Moving on, two more sounds to talk about. I've added a cello, one of our cello scrapes here. This is one of the sounds as well from in our cello folder in the library. I like to think of it like at the end of the riser, you want it to like really have like all that like really creepy energy, you know, and this is it's a great way to do it just by adding like a signature sound to the end of it, you know, something like a bowed, especially for horror, like a bowed thing or a Brahm, you know, for more actiony stuff. I like to put something at the end of the riser. That way, like at the very end of the riser, it gets real beefed up and, you know, kind of creates this little signature at the end. So that's what I've done with this. And then the last thing I've added, I also have just a little bit of decapitator on it, you know, just to kind of beef it up and make it even more gritty, you know. The last thing I used in this is white noise. So if you look here at my soft synth, I'm using Massive for this, but you can use any soft synth that you can add noise with. So the noise is down here in Massive. So all I've done is I've turned off all my oscillators. You know, I turned off all three oscillators, turned off all my modulation and my filter, you know, and I'm just using, it starts like this, you know, everything turned down. I'm just using the complete white noise, and you can choose the kind of noise here, you know, the kind of noise that it is. They just, if you're familiar with different noises, they sound different. Pink noise is a different sound than white noise, et cetera, et cetera. So just choose white. And then all I'm doing is I've got a volume automation on the master volume. You know, that's all I'm doing with this. And it's really subtle, the white noise. it just comes in kind of beefy at the end. You can barely hear it until about 2/3 the way through the riser. All right. So pretty simple. All I've done is did the big old, quarter pipe ramp with the white noise, and I've got a little bit of high cut here. I didn't want it was a little bit too piercing the way it was. If you listen here to the end, it's a little much. It's a little much, it just it's too much piercing. Too much high end. So I just rolled off a little bit of that there. All right, simple as that. Now we can listen to the whole thing, and we got a pretty sweet little string riser here. Boom. Got us a string riser. All right, moving on. Let's do another one. I use exact same concepts with this one. All right, so let's see. We got the white noise, which you already know how that sounds. It sounds the exact same as on the last one. All right. This is a different violin trem. It's slightly different from the last one. The playing's a little bit different. The playing style on it's a bit different. All right. Then we got a drone that I'm using pitch shift on. All right. What I like to use for my pitch shifter is I like to use sound shifter by Waves. Works perfect. Works great. You just automate the ratio here, and this just goes up and down as you want. Up for risers, obviously, down for downers. And so I've added that on there. And I've just got a little bit of decapitator for the exact same reason, to add a little bit of grit to the sound. So here's it without. Here's it with. All right. So we got the drone, we got the trem, the violin trem, and we got the white noise. All right. It sounds abrupt, the cutoff, because we don't have the signature element in there yet. The signature element's going to cover up that straight cutoff there. That sounds really goofy now. All right, moving on. All right, so this kind of took up the kind of the lower range of the spectrum. But I also wanted to have a mid-range one. So what I did with these are both the same drone here. If you look, this is just a duplicated, right? So this is the drone here. This is the drone here. Same exact drone. All right. But what I've done here is I've got one that's, if you look here, this one's not transposed. This one's in its natural key. This one here, I've got an octave down. So this one is a lot higher. Sorry, let me play it by itself. That's that one. This is the low one. All right, so when we put those together, it really fills up the frequency spectrum for us there. Without the reason I did that is because on its own, the riser did seem like it was lacking a little bit of that low end presence. So what did I do? I duplicated one of the drones. I lowered it by 12 semitones. Boom. Now we've got an octave down, and we've got that low end filled out. All right. Last sound for this, the sound that's gonna round out this ending here where everything abruptly cuts off is another scrape, another one of our cello scrapes here. All right, so this one's slightly different. I'll play it as is. All right. So what I've added is just a bit of grit with decapitator. You got to be tasteful with this kind of stuff, especially on such a intense sound. I'm just adding a little bit of drive to it. You don't want to be putting punish on it. It's gonna be too crazy, blow your ears out. But and I've also got a little. I've also no, I don't know why I have this on there. So but I've also got looks like a little bit of EQ just to cut out that bottom range, because I believe my low range drone, once I duplicated this drone and moved it down 12 semis, this was this low range on this scrape was causing too much like boom down there in the low end. So I wanted the low range from the drone, so I cut out a little bit of the low end from my scrape to make room for that low end. That way, I'm not getting that boomy sound. So all that combined, here's your riser. There we go. So there's two of the risers. That's how you make a custom riser. You could there's there's plenty of sounds in this library that you can use to make that. We've got like all sorts of stuff in there that you can use, scrapes and tremolos, you name it. So yeah, if we pull up the library here, you can see that there's tons of these sounds that you can use in here. There's like different bass bows, uh, there's stuff that you could use for signature sounds at the end of risers. Um, that could totally work as a signature sound at the end of the riser. We got like cello design. This is where like those scrape type sounds came from, the ricochets and stuff. Um, Pretty gritty stuff. Me and Grant really wanted to make it like really intense, at least as intense as we could. You know, Here's some like cigar box guitar type stuff. You know, we've also got, without showing you everything, we've got let's see, we got some hits. We've got some risers, obviously, like I showed you. We've got the signature sounds, here, screams. We've got like bowed bells, all sorts of stuff. Ticks, last thing I'll show you is some of our ticks. So we got like these socket clocks that I think are pretty useful, especially the slow one. I think this one's super useful. It's perfect for like an act one intro. Socket clocks are cool. They really come in handy and stuff like this. So that's the library. That's how you can go through and make custom risers out of it. I'll probably do another video talking about how you can make some other custom elements, within the library. But yeah, we hope you guys really enjoy the library, and we hope you guys pick it up and let us know, if you write anything cool with it. We'd love to hear it. So I hope everybody has a great day, and thanks so much for all the support. Take care.